Hiya lovelies, so continuing my countdown to Yule with talking about some Yule traditions that I've researched. Got my trusted little notebook here, aka Book of Shadows, you should have one too. And following on from Saturnalia and the corn dollies is the tradition in Northern European countries of the julbok or the Yule goat. The history of it is the last sheath of grain, and they believed it contained the power of the harvest, and it would be wrapped up and turned into the shape of a goat. Now, goats are going to appear in the next 3 videos, and we will at some point discuss why goats. Just going to adjust my camera a little bit here, if you don't mind. Here we go. Some of the sources that I read thought that the reason for the goat was because it's the month of Capricorn. So Capri being the goat and corn being the horn of plenty, maybe, or corn. I don't know about that because it is more Greek. But of course, these traditions, the Yule goat especially, even though I think some sources say it goes back to pre-Christian times, but there was also a lot of travel involved. So I imagine they picked up a few traditions here and there. And let's face it, what we celebrate today for Yule or Christmas is a mixture of traditions, which I think is rather wonderful, actually. So the theory is also perhaps linked with Thor, who rides the sky on his chariot of 2 goats, so often perceived as an aspect of the sky god. And of course, as this time of year coincides with winter solstice, looking at the shortest night and longest day. No, other way round. Longest night and shortest day. You know me, I've got a memory like a sieve. That's why I need a notebook. Anywho, I believe that Yules are quite, goats are quite plentiful. So a Yule sacrifice would include a goat, I suppose. And of course, Thor himself in his stories killed and ate his goats, who were then reborn and replenished the following day. Goats are used in many different pre-European, pre-Christian traditions throughout the world, even in many Arabic countries. I think it's because they're quite plentiful, aren't they, goats? Quite easy to take care of, etc. In fact, Moo Dog that's trotting around, because she always has to appear on a video here and there, we often think she's a bit of a goat because she'll eat just about anything, and she does look a bit like a goat. Anywho, you know me, going off on a sidetrack there. So some other origins of it is the Proto-Slavic god Devak, and the Kolyada celebration. I have most likely said that wrong. Who is the god Devak appears as a white goat, and part of the festival includes someone dressed as the goat demanding gifts. So the more modern day practice would include people dressed as goats, pranking people, and a common practice told to me by an Icelandic friend of mine is the Yule goat being passed from house to house. So you would take your straw goat, and it's wrapped with red ribbon, I should mention. Forgot that. I'm not very good at keeping things in order, but anyway. And I think the red represents the blood, just as it does with hanging mistletoe. Anyway, so the tradition is you hide it in your neighbour's house, and they have to find it and hide it in the next neighbour's house. And like the last neighbour to end up with the Yule goat, much like the story of the Celtic goddess, the Queen of Winter, whose name I can't recall, they have to take care of the goat throughout winter, and wassailing, traditional wassailing, includes a goat character. And traditionally at the end of the festival, the julbok would be burnt, and therefore destroying the goat devil. Now, some of the superstitions were, if you saw the julbok, he was there as a spirit to make sure that you were preparing your Yule festivities correctly. And there would be punishment if you did not. And combining with early Christian influence, the festival of St. Nicholas, we'll be getting onto that on my next video, is often seen as leading a goat-like man. And that would represent the Christians controlling the devil, because the devil would appear often as goats, or goat-like with horns, etc. And that was during the Childermas, which is a Northern European celebration of many different celebrations of Yule. As I was doing my research, there it's celebrated differently in many different countries, not just in Northern Europe, but Southern Europe, and as I say, Arabic countries as well. And it seems to follow the sort of trade routes where these traditions have been passed on and passed on. But yes, I love the idea of the Yule goat, and even though there is no early writing, pre-Christian writing of it, it's still celebrated today. I haven't unpacked all of my decorations, but I've got some little straw Yule goats that hang around the house just to celebrate that little part of it. So yes, the Yule goat, or the julbok. A lovely little tradition, I thought, because it also celebrates the harvest and looking forward to the sun coming back, of course. So I do hope that made a bit of sense to you. Anyway, on to the next one. So I hope you enjoyed that, my lovelies. And again, happy Yule.